Hey, and welcome back to Cooking with Jimmy. What we're going to do today is lamb burgers. Now these lamb burgers I made before, they were in the freezer. They freeze well. We had them from another dinner that we had. Anyways, the thing about lamb burgers is there's you don't want to put anything in it. You want 50% beef, 50% lamb. Now, if you really don't like lamb, or it to be lammy, so there's 3 different ways to do it. Then you get Ontario lamb. Ontario lamb is very subtle in flavor, doesn't have a strong lamby taste, and you won't taste it at all in the burger because it's all about the moisture, the lamb fat, and the juices that give it all this flavor. Middle of the road is Australian lamb. Australian lamb is my preference. It's middle of the road. It's a little bit more than Ontario for the gamey flavor, and that's good. And then New Zealand lamb has the strongest lamb taste. So whatever your preference is, try it out, figure it out, and that's all there is to that. So then you're going to mix the two 50-50 ratio of lean ground beef, because you want the ground beef lean, because now lamb has a higher fat in it, and it will go in and give all the moisture and the flavor into the beef itself. So we have these ones that were frozen before. We put them on the grill. Now you want to flatten them out really thin, because if you've ever made burgers, if you make them too thick, they ball up when they start to cook. So these are actually quite big, but they shrink. So we have this grill preheated. All we're going to do, this is adobo again, but this is just like a little bit of white pepper, mainly garlic powder. So we don't need any crazy flavoring for this either. We could crack a little black pepper on it. It doesn't matter. Just put a little bit of this on. Now, the one thing about cooking lamb burgers is, and the most important part, we preheated our oven to 100 degrees. It can be 100, it can be 150. What happens is, when you cook meat, it contracts, so it shrinks and it starts going down. It pushes all the juices out. If you took these lamb burgers and you took them off the grill like a traditional hamburger, you toasted the buns, your cheese is melted on it, you throw it on the bun, and you take a bite, the juice will run all out on the plate, and then the burger will be really dry. You don't want to overcook these burgers, so what you have to do is once it's cooked, you have to, and you have your cheese on it, then you got to put it on a baking pan, and you got to put it in the oven to hold. So it's got to stabilize so it stops contracting. This is key with lamb burgers, and you'll have the juiciest, most tastiest burger you've ever had. Now this grill is crazy hot because it's a commercial grill. You see how fast it cooks that, so you see the juices coming up. We're going to flip it over. You do not want to overcook these. They're quite thin. Now I think there's more heat on this side, so we're going to read the grill. And we're going to take this, and you see this is actually quite hot over here too. So it really doesn't matter at all. But we still rotate everything, because rotation when you're barbecuing is important, because you'll have hot spots, inconsistencies, and you want to make sure it's even. And this evens the score and makes everything turn out just nice. Now once again, you don't want to overcook these. You can watch by the juices that are coming off of the burgers, the color of it. Like right now it's red, so that's the juices. Now it's contracting, it's squeezing up. You can tell by the color of the juices the wellness of it. So this is not going to take long, so we're going to keep it rolling, keep the film rolling. So we'll give it just another minute. We'll keep drying the juices. We'll have some cooking wine, because it is Friday night, by the way, and we're really hungry. And just looking at these things is quite awesome. Now, always use double Swiss cheese on lamb burgers. We are short a couple of slices, so we're going to throw in some habanero havarti, new thing that we just seen in the supermarket. Now you see, this has more juice coming here than there, then that means that that is hotter than here. Now at this point, we're going to take this and we're just going to shuffle these guys. Don't want to bang them around too much. You can see they're starting to curve and curl. That means they're cooking quite a bit on the other side. So let's give them a flip. Now, as soon as we flip it, the back side is going to be really hot. So we'll flip this guy around, and they need cheese like ASAP. So we're going to place them there, there, there. Okay, we got cheese on there. I'm going to throw double on the big guys. Okay, there's our habanero Havarti. Never tried this before, but I'm sure it's going to be a-okay. Alright, so now you see the cheese is starting to melt around the outside. These burgers, like I said, because they're flattened out so thin, you can see the diameter. They really shrunk. But don't forget, this is not like your barbecue at home. This thing is like ripping hot. So now we're going to take them off. That took all of about 4 minutes. So we're going to take these guys off. We're going to put them on a baking pan. We have them on the baking pan. We're going to throw them in our oven. It's 100 degrees. Actually, we're going to make it a little warmer because it's we're going to back bake. I'm going to back it all the way off to 175. Close enough. Like 175. So that's going to keep it warm enough that it's going to come down. It's going to stop the shrinking, everything. So now we're going to take our buns. We're going to toast our buns. It's so nice to toast your buns in the sun. Okay, so we got this going. A little bit more cooking wine. And once we get these toasted up, this has got to stabilize for about 5 minutes. Once it's stabilized and we pull them out, we throw them on the bun and away we go. Okay, so just watch. Like I said, this is not your average grill. This is very hot, and it toasts stuff very fast. So we just want to move it around. Like I said, you have different, like you have airflows and heat and everything. So you want to make sure it all balances out. We'll be back in a sec. Okay, we're all set and we're ready for the burgers. We're gonna go in the oven here. See, that cheese had a nice easy melt. You know, nothing too crazy. Now we'll take them off. Put it off. Put it on there. Let's take this off the heat. It's really still warm. I like to keep it simple. I like simple flavors. Don't get too crazy. I'm not a ketchup guy, so I'm going to put a little bit of just regular old mustard on there. And a little garlic chihuahua. It's going to give it a little bit of flavor, not crazy, spicy kind of heat to it. So now this thing has stopped, shrinking. I'm going to show you here that this burger is going to look absolutely amazing and perfectly cooked. Now you see all the juices that are in this burger. Doesn't get any better than this. Thanks for cooking with Jimmy.